Welcome to God's Way, YTVY. I'm Adolphina, Shephard. This is my co-host, Thomas Knight's Templar.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Well, we have a fascinating show for you tonight, as usual, and a couple of wonderful regular guests. And our topic is going to be spiritual solutions for a toxic world. So I guess we'll start off with Mr. Thomas had some things to say he wanted to say.
Toxicity himself.
Mr. Thomas, yes, Mr. Thomas.
There are simple solutions to everything that's going on right now. But the problem is that we are so overly educated and gotten so far away from the beings that we were meant to being these automatons, that everything is through intelligentsia, okay? That we lost our path and we lost our common sense as a nation and as a world, okay? The simple solution that they will never accept is you have to come back to love. If we come back to love, all of this falls away. But the problem is everybody, because they're so overly educated, is they don't believe this because it's too simple, all right? But Jesus, God, their expressions of love to people was simplicity. It wasn't complications. It wasn't convolutions. It wasn't segmenting different races. It was all inclusive. If you belong to something that's segmented or divisive and non-inclusionary, okay, then you're in the wrong booth. Get out of there. All right? Simple solution is to fall back to love. Now, we're going to discuss that tonight and ways that you can join and become more spiritual and move towards the goal of ascension and of pure white Christ love. All right?
And before we go further, we have to introduce our guests, right?
Oh, they're here again?
Oh, yeah, they're here
Okay.
again.
There we are.
So, Christine, why don't you go first, and then we'll go over to Mary.
Okay. I'm Christine Schiavone. I am the host and producer of my own show called Spiritual Exploration.
The longest running spiritual show.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've been doing that show since 1999.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That's quite a while. It's about
Yeah.
23 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a long time.
Yes, and I enjoy it. I am very happy to be putting information out to my fellow human beings so that they can learn things that they might not be able to learn in other places. I've been told that I come out with things, I have things on my show that they wouldn't find anywhere else.
That's
you know?
true. And I was on your
Very
show,
true.
one of my first shows.
That's right.
Yeah, it was, and so forth, right? And I think that's how I met you. Is
Yeah,
that how I met
probably.
you?
He just thought I was such a good-looking
Anyway,
stud in the
that's
corner
right.
there. I had to
after
know
this
him.
show.
The guy
right
behind the
after
camera.
you.
That's what it was.
On
Okay.
Friday night, 10 o'clock, channel 35 on FiOS and 79 on Spectrum, right after this show.
you
Okay, then. So then we'll go to Mary Silvernail. You know Mary's a regular. So come on, Mary. Tell us again for the people who haven't seen you.
Who haven't seen me. Okay. I'm Mary Silvernail, and I am the host of Astrology, Angels, and More on CTV. And it's aired on Sunday nights at 7:30. On Spectrum 79 and FiOS 35. I'm also a board-certified clinical hypnotherapist and a Reiki master, healer, and
Shaman.
yeah, a lot of different things. But I'm an astrologer. I've been an astrologer my entire life, a professional astrologer. So, and the reason that I do the work that I do, as what Christine was saying, is that I really enjoy. I feel it's my life's purpose, my soul's purpose.
your calling.
To help people. Yes.
That's exactly.
Yes, absolutely. And to be able to, and the shows are so important
They are.
because this is how we get the information out.
That's right.
And people really appreciate that. I mean, over the years, I've heard so many, wonderful things. And yeah, I mean, let's face it, Christine is really the origin here, I
Yeah,
think, of all of
this
us
type
sitting
of thing,
here.
yeah.
Because, right?
Tell
Well,
about, tell
because
it,
of me, we're all here. I
Yeah,
guess.
absolutely.
That's
I
right.
never
No,
saw
it's
it
the
that way,
truth.
but it's the
Tell-
truth, yes.
It's true, yeah.
tell them
Because I
when
was
we
on
go to,
your
when we
show
go out
and
to
then-
lunch and dinner and stuff like that, and people see us.
Oh, yeah, people see us and they recognize, oh, sure.
I had that happen today. I was in one of the buildings I take care of, and the guy who was telling me all this stuff says, I know you from TV.
Yeah.
And he was saying he liked the show, he liked everything. He
That's
watches
right.
your show.
You'd be
And he
surprised how
watches
many
yours.
people do, and a lot of people don't even tell you about it, but you can tell who does by people who give you a big smile and a hello.
A hello when they
and
see
you
you.
figure that they must know me from
Yeah,
the
they
show.
recognize you, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one time,
That's
years and
right.
years and years ago, I was on a plane flying from Jersey to Florida. And I did a commercial in Florida with my husband. And the guy sitting next to me on the plane says, I know you. And I says, oh, yeah? Where? He says,
Was that before he asked you for your phone number? Okay,
he didn't ask me for my phone number, but it was the funniest thing because he recognized me, so I know just what you guys are
I
talking about.
recognize you
Yeah.
off
You know?
the island, too. A lady
Yeah.
followed me into an elevator in Manhattan to tell me that she watched my show.
There you go, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People see it, and don't forget the viewership on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes,
Exactly.
So that's even
absolutely.
more, so.
YouTube, yeah, I have a whole lot of
Yeah.
shows on YouTube. Brian's working on updating some. There's a lot of the older ones, which are also very interesting. But hopefully Brian will be able to catch up with the ones that,
Well, you know,
Aren't they?
actually, I think Gaia, that TV network, they kind of jumped on our bandwagon because we've been doing spiritual work all these years, and then they started that network, right?
That's a very good
and
point,
so we
yes.
actually kind of started this, where people have a place to go to where they can learn this spiritual knowledge that isn't common.
right,
You know,
exactly,
The thing-
that's
the
the key.
thing-
Right?
yeah,
It's not
because-
common knowledge.
It's not
It's
common
not,
knowledge.
and
Learn things
it's
that
been
would
hidden.
not have normally
Right.
come
Of
across.
metaphysics.
It's been
Yes, metaphysics.
deliberately hidden.
Yes,
I would recommend
absolutely.
to everybody out there, go onto YouTube and put in the Book of Enoch and listen to it with your headphones.
It's
You
on
will
there.
hear, and you will know why at the end of that book, why it was omitted from the Council of Nicene for the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because that explains all of this nonsense. Okay? So I would advise you all to listen to that.
You mean that
Okay.
they prevent this knowledge from getting out to
That's
the common
right,
man?
because if you know, if you know that, you've been had.
Oh, yeah, you've been had because...
You stopped the money train. That's what happened. You stopped the money train.
Right.
You know?
Well, I was just thinking about something, Mary, getting back to the astrology thing. I was in a car coming back from the showcase I was talking about earlier, and one of the women said to me, she goes, well, what would you say about that full moon? I said, well, I'm not an astrologer, but I can tell you that I used to work at a mental health clinic for 5 years, and that for...
And you escaped.
And I escaped.
Sure, you work there.
But the thing is that the moon controls the waters, and
Yes,
we're
it
mostly
Oh, yes.
water, right?
75%.
Yeah,
All
it
the tides.
controls the tides and the rivers. And she
Right.
says, well, what about this moon? I said, I read it, but I don't remember it exactly after like 4 glasses of wine, you know?
Yeah, I
So
know.
I said,
Then it was a blue moon
I
after
know.
that.
so she says, well, what would you say? So I said, well, I would say that that astrology is God's time clock.
Yes, it
and that
is.
it's the placement of the planets that's going to determine what's going to be supposed to be transpiring that month.
At that time.
And
Right,
they,
at that
they
time,
started figuring that out 5,000 years ago.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you think that they just happened to come up with the idea, or
Right.
somebody brought it to them?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's been around
Okay.
5,000 years.
Well, I believe that Einstein and Tesla and all all these really intelligent men. They were getting high class
They were-
information.
They were
you
getting, they
know?
were getting their information in the Delta state, right, directly from the Akasha.
Nostradamus.
They were getting downloads.
Right from the
downloads,
Akasha.
right.
Right from the Akashic records.
Right, and so, they were actually, higher advanced people,
That's what they were.
Yeah, and so, well, I guess we should talk a little bit about what we started talking about the toxic world and the spiritual solutions and so forth, because we do have I have some physical and spiritual answers. I agree with you 100% about it has to get back to love. I mean, don't you remember the kids played in the streets? They didn't sit in on their phones and on the iPads and on the computers, and
That's right.
everybody knew each other, and they hung out, they had barbecues together and things like that with their
You
neighbors.
knew your neighbors, and everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's parents, well, your parents,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Everybody kept an eye out for everybody.
Now
Yeah.
they're all
Now-
sitting
now they
on
could care
their-
less.
On their computers with their little sticks and getting fat.
Yeah,
There's a
and
disconnect.
it is. It's a real disconnect. We got to get back to being a part of a community and so forth. But I do have some things on a physical level I want to talk to you about. Because, a lot of people are so stressed, right, about this, so
That's right.
toxic in this
Exactly.
world and stuff. Well, most people are deficient in minerals. And the minerals, multi-minerals, they calm your nervous system. So if you get a good multi-mineral and a good multivitamin, it will calm your nervous system so people aren't so stressed out and anxious.
The B vitamins are very
Yeah, they're good
important.
for
Yeah,
that.
especially B12.
People
you
don't
know-
know about this
I
stuff.
tell you right now, the things that I would say that is true, that, we're deficient in a lot of minerals and in a lot of vitamins because of the poor diets and the poor quality of the food that we grow these days. It's engineered genetically, actually modified to, I think, in the long run, to screw us up.
Oh, sure, at least in the United States.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's so much interaction behind the scenes by set whatever they are that want to see the demise of mankind. All right, and that's what, and they're hell bent on it. And you can see by the movement right now, moving towards even nuclear proliferation.
I want to see most people
You know what I mean?
dead, that's right.
That's it. If they can clean up the surface population, okay, we are over 8 billion people.
Yeah.
If you can clean that down to like maybe a couple of million, they're going to be in total control. You're not going
That's
to
a
say
big
nothing.
difference.
So this is, you see all the saber rattling going around, okay? It's time to now start to realize that the simplistic answer to all of these problems is to get back to love, all right? Those that are in charge will never love anything but themselves. They're greed in their money,
That's right,
okay? And that goes for all the corporate heads.
yeah,
We're all in this together.
I'm sure,
What's in it for me?
yeah.
So don't want to get political with it, but everybody's complicit. They're all complicit in some way, shape, or form. All right, so it's time now to withdraw that mindset of what's good for me, screw you.
Yeah,
It's time to change that mindset and get back to love and caring about your fellow man.
you see, that's the way God wants it.
That's right.
He wants that. You see, I remember going to church one Sunday, and the priest on the altar was, I felt a man full of wisdom. And he was on the altar, and his sermon mainly, and there's very few sermons that impressed me enough for me to remember. This one I remember because the priest said, God doesn't worry or care so much about sin. What he wants is for us to help each other and take care of each other. That is his main goal with human beings, to watch them be kind to each other.
Good point.
Well,
And to evolve. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
of
and to
course.
evolve, because life
Yes.
is a spiral.
Yes.
You start here, the ooga booga, when they say cavemen or whatever, and you work your way up the spiral and you evolve and evolve and evolve. And each time it comes around, you have to grow. But you're right, we got to get back to that. And some of it, people don't smile anymore. How often do you see people
People aren't
smile?
happy. Look at,
I know.
Well, you
listen.
should smile at them, and they
That's
automatically smile back at
Right,
you.
right.
Or they
It's
think
so
there's something
sad.
wrong with you if
That's
you
what
do.
I do. if I happen to
That's
be
what you do.
anywhere, in a restaurant, in
That's
a
right.
supermarket, wherever, and somebody catches my attention or I catch theirs and we our eyes meet,
Yes,
smile.
absolutely.
You know, I know somebody that left here to go to another place because she felt that the people that were indigenous to here were not nice people and weren't nice to her, so she wanted to go find another place where, I don't know if she has succeeded in finding nicer people, but, and I said to her, I said, but all you have to do is be nice to them. Not one blessed person on this earth would not smile back or be nice to you, even if they were the most evil person going, because they wouldn't be able to help the fact that you have light around you when you do that.
Yes.
The thing with talking about having light around you, when you come out as a being that we emanate light, all right? When we go places, people notice us, and not only from the shows, they notice us. We just are a different way.
That's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
You know, just a
Aura.
different way.
Yes.
And they feel, I feel like I know you for so long.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And, you know, they perceive a certain feel from you, a certain vibe from you, a love from, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? When you break down the whole situation as far as having emanate love, okay? It's the way that you talk to people. It's the way that you talk to the masses. If you're in a crowd of people, or if you should be at an event or whatever it is, it's the way you convey yourself to them,
Yes,
which is what they will come away with.
right.
All right. When I say to people, you know, really, you know, you just need to let things go, leave the past in the past. We had this discussion this week. Leave the past in the past. The things that happened in the past. Some people, like myself, Mary could tell you that I'm kind of like caught with that because of a certain planet, or was it? Okay.
Yeah,
And
cancer.
I revert to
What's
it sometimes.
cancer doing?
Well, it was keeping me in the twilight zone. Anyway, you know,
Very nostalgic
yeah, it's a nostalgia
and
thing.
emotional.
You know, so I recognize that when I start falling into that, and I just put it behind me. Okay, but to experience the kind of love that we try to make people understand here is that it's not only love like, you know, you want to have a physical love and you got a man or a woman, you know, it's not that physical thing. It's the way you are, your persona, and the way your persona treats others.
Right.
Okay, we have been given free will to be exactly the opposite.
Or
Okay,
good or bad.
that's right. In this world, there is only one power, and that is God.
That's
There
right.
is no evil.
That's right.
Okay, evil is your free will to be that way. Okay, and those that adhere to that are part of that. Okay, evil is a title given to them by who? The churches, the synagogues, the mosque. All right, there is no evil. That's created by man. That's the chaos that's created by man. Man has created every division in the entire world.
It says in the Bible,
That's right.
666 is the number of man. You know, how often did you hear when you
Good
were
point,
growing up from the
Adolphina.
churches
That
that it
was
was the
the
name of the devil?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it said,
Well-
my mouth dropped open when I read that. 666 is the number of man.
The name of the devil's Gus,
Gus?
Well, no, it is
Tommy.
the free.
for lack of a different name.
It is the free will.
It's the
It
free
is,
will.
You're
yeah.
absolutely.
Your free will is the dark side of everything. Everything is a balance in this world. Everything is dichotomies here.
That's-
But remember one thing: when you realize, all of you out there, that you are a child of God, you're no longer a part of a dichotomy. You are one with the Father. He dwells in you, and you are Him.
true.
God became man, so man could become God. All right. That's a fact.
We are God.
And
We are
that's
God.
the evolution.
The spiral
right.
going up. You know, you said a key thing here, Tommy. You talked about balance, and I want to talk about balance because everybody is off balance. I'm not saying us because we practice being balanced and so forth, but there's keys to being balanced. You should be centered. You can actually feel, I can ask where a person's center is and feel it and then move it to center. It will fall back out unless they do the other techniques that they need. However, you can ask God to simply balance you, center you, balance your male, female, and rise you up to your gradient, your frequency, your vibration up to above your head or wherever is perfect for you. Because of the fact that if you're in balance, you're going to be happier, because you're not going to be leaning in depression or anger or whatever, so you can be who you are really supposed to be.
right.
Another good thing is to say, I replicate my higher spirit. Right? You say that every day, I replicate my higher spirit.
But it's also what people do on a daily basis in their lives, such as what I, really think about with that in order to stay in balance is you have to have balance in your life. You can't have too much of something and not enough of another. You have to do things such as going within yourself, whether it's in prayer or meditation. Or whatever that may be, or just a walk in the woods and connecting with nature, okay, that God created, or connecting, going to the beach, going to the water, or doing something extremely creative like an artist would do, because that is keeping you in balance.
Keeping you in balance.
Right? That's how, seriously, that is how you keep all your chakras aligned.
That's right.
And recognizing the fact that when there's an emotion that comes into your life, and if it's not for your good,
Get rid of it.
and you have to let go of that because it's out there in your aura. And if you don't release that or work on that and let it go, what will happen is eventually it'll enter into your body and create
Well, it's
some
gonna-
sort of an illness.
It's going to come down, it's going to manifest
That's
it.
right.
an illness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some-
Yes. And then you're really not in balance.
I
That's
know
true.
some people that have been very negative, and they're coming down with diseases we never even heard of.
Unfortunately.
And I tell them too, if you'd stop being negative, you probably would clear up and you wouldn't have to worry
No,
about all
It's a
these
good possibility of that. It's all, especially when they learn to go within. When you, I would recommend to everybody, they did an experiment, I believe it was in India, and they took the inmates that were in jail, all right, and they made them do, I think, an hour or two of meditation. And they wound up being productive individuals when they were released, because they incorporated that into their lives. I would recommend all of you to learn how to meditate, whether you go for yoga, whether you go for a meditative class, whether you go for a guided meditation. You must now start to do that. If you want to connect to your higher self, if you want to realize who you are, God feels he would fail you if you don't recognize who he is. He can't help you
Because when you go
because he
in,
dwells within you.
when you go within, you're connecting with God.
You've been beat down over the many millennia by religious dogma, okay? That was to keep you in bondage. There was a lot of people in bondage over the millennia, okay? But we have never, ever been out of bondage because we have been in the hands of those who would exploit the people who, I call them the 3D drones. They go in a humdrum way. They do their life. They do their job. They deal with their kids. They deal with this. They get a mortgage. They buy a car. I got a better car than you. Animosity, resentment. These are the things that will keep you down. They will keep you down. You will develop nothing. And those of you that are in the 3D world and happen to be well up on the stick there of wealth and all of this stuff and enjoying vacations and cars, yachts, planes, whatever it is you do, it isn't worth one thing on the other side unless you do something for those lesser than you.
That's right.
Well,
right.
and that's the problem, because they're
That is the problem.
they're service to self, and the 1% have 99% of the wealth. You know, I mean, and everybody else gets on the gerbil wheel. And when are we going to get off the gerbil wheel? You see, you know what I mean? And so that's the problem, because there's too many people, the 1%ers who are the shadow government
They
for
own
the
everything.
most part. They own everything.
They own everything.
And-
They're all in cahoots.
And they only think that we're here to serve them. You see? You know, they own the hospitals, the pharmaceuticals, the airline companies. You know, they own all this.
Every now and
this
then,
is the
every
problem.
now and then they'll throw a world war in there. This way they can take another 6, 7, 10 million people off the earth. You know what I mean? They'll do something. They'll have some kind of thing go off, or a nuclear reactor will go down like in Chernobyl, and all these people died, but they didn't say a word about how many.
But you know,
Okay.
didn't they used to break up monopolies? I mean, look what they did to the bells, right? They broke up the bells. What is it with this monopoly that these companies are allowed to control? Like, for instance,
Amazon.
yeah, for instance. And let's talk about the computer guy who suddenly is the doctor of the world. I mean, did we elect this person? You know what I mean? No, I mean,
You gotta watch
this
that
is
guy.
money.
You gotta watch
This-
that guy, because that guy is buying up land in the Midwest around major cities, and he's going to control the water.
That's the fear, yeah,
Okay.
and control the food, because he's buying up tons of farmland.
That's right.
And he's got the billions to do it, and who gave him the billions but us stupid people? You know? And, well, now it's kind of out of our hands. We got to take it back somehow. But these monopolies were never allowed
never
before.
allowed.
They were never
It
allowed.
was all antitrust. It
Yeah.
was all antitrust suits.
How long did they break up the baby bells? I mean, it's been a while
You ever
now.
notice that the phones haven't been as good since?
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean the cell phone?
It's become so technical. Even the cell phones. You see,
Yeah.
you see
They've
like
been
a
acting
corporation.
funny
You
lately
see like a
with cell
corporation
have.
like Apple.
I know.
All kinds of
You get the brand new
stuff coming
phone.
up.
You get the brand new phone. In less than 2 years, you need a brand new phone.
Right, well, Chris-
Why? Because the
Yes.
software updates they give you destroy your phone.
And if
Yeah.
you
I
don't
believe
get
that
it
to
in
be
time,
so,
your
you
phone
know. That is
That
true.
is true, yeah.
Now there's some, I was
You don't
watching
get it in
I was watching
time,
an
your phone
infomercial.
dies,
What?
And then you can't transfer anything.
What are you
gotta
talking
start from
about?
The telephones,
Yeah,
cell
the
phones.
updates, right?
The updates damage your phone. There's this Asian woman, I was watching a video with her. She developed, it's a speed charger that also cleans the phone out of all the stuff they put in it, and that phone becomes like supercharged. And you lightning fast
Really?
to get all your stuff done. I had that somewhere saved on my phone. somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have
like
to send
know
it
It's
to
a,
that.
it's a
us.
it's a device, okay?
Okay.
They're looking to have the government shut it down. Because
Yeah,
payola,
of course.
pay to
of
play.
course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't want that getting out there. Because then you're gonna, everybody could, you have an iPhone 3, and it's gonna work like a supercomputer
Wow.
with this device. You know, so there you go. It's a deliberate attempt to keep you buying their products, keep you paying them $1,400-$1,500 for these phones,
That's
okay?
why nothing lasts
Nothing
these
lasts.
days.
They
because
There's no
make it
quality.
like that.
They make
Yeah.
it like that
Yeah.
so that it'll
Yeah,
break down. You
that's
gotta
right.
buy a new
Yeah.
one.
There's
whatever
there's
it
no
is.
quality. There's no quality.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. So you can see the deception of the 1%ers, right? All these heads of corporations that have caused the toxicity in this world. When they want something, they drive one group against the other. The media does this on a regular basis. If you are a news junkie, I don't care if you like the current thing or what was before that, I don't care. What I'm going to tell you now, stop watching that propaganda, because that's exactly what it is. This is Hitler H2O that you're watching on TV. Propaganda. There's no truth. And when I see these phony newscasters, and they're over there, they're so concerned. Everything is bad that comes out of their mouth. Everything. You're watching an hour news program,
Depressing.
55 minutes of it is horror.
Yeah.
They show you a little boy with a puppy, and that's supposed to make it all better. They
Well-
keep you in constant fear. All right? Look at the crime. Look at this. Look at that. Well, if you let the cops do their job, if you get these people out of office that are pro-criminal,
Yeah.
then you get your life back. All right? Now you get your life back.
Yeah, defund the police. I mean,
Defund the
they
police,
had
take
to
away
be
your
idiots.
firearms.
They had
Take
to
away
be
your firearms.
idiots.
You know who did that?
believe that.
Adolf Hitler did that in Germany. Took away the firearms. Okay,
Well-
and guess what? Nobody could fight back against them.
That's right, and history repeats itself. We got to watch out for that.
That's
But
right.
here's the thing: the people that say take the guns away, they're the ones who are guarded by
By armed
security
guards.
guards and armed people and build walls around the White House. I mean, don't you see the bigger picture, my friends?
Yeah.
You know. So,
And that's
but
worldwide, even the other one that's in Vatican City there. All right, with his walls around, and he talks about the other guy building a border wall.
oh, I
Are
know,
you kidding
crazy,
me?
right?
Really, what a hypocrite.
I know. But listen,
What
you know
about the
what?
Pope?
Yeah, well, that's who we were talking about. Yeah,
I
of
was going to say the
course.
man in the dress, but then again, all right, if that works.
But I wanted to just add a few other things, and then I want to ask Mary about the astrology of the equinox and so that's coming up, because I know this is big, and I've noticed it myself in my own world, and my friends and so forth. But
Where would that be? Twilight Zone?
yeah, Twilight Zone, half the time.
Half the time.
I need my anchor. My husband used to be my anchor.
There you go.
And he's gone. I
He's still
need
your
another.
anchor.
I need
He's still
another anchor.
You
But-
heard that. She's
Yeah.
advertising for an anchor. All right, so-
Oh, okay, not with cement shoes though. You know.
No.
But I wanted to remind everybody to stay in gratitude. We have roofs over our head. We have food on our table.
Attitude of gratitude.
Yeah,
you were
an
gonna say
attitude
that.
of gratitude. Good. That's
knew you
a
were
good
gonna
That's
say
one
line.
of
that.
my famous lines.
I was just about to give you the cue to say that.
I don't know if you remember several years ago. I haven't heard from Pramananda actually.
Pramananda?
Pramananda, with all this COVID stuff going on. So I haven't really had him on the show. I don't think he's been here. Anyway, though, but he was the one that said that you sit quietly and breathe in about 6 or 7 beats. And when you get the breath in, say, I am so blessed. And then you let the breaths out, and when you get to the end of letting the breaths out, you say, I am so grateful. I have found that when I do that, I find good things happening in my life.
Absolutely.
It's like God is saying, you feel blessed and you're grateful. Okay, here's some good stuff coming your way.
There you go.
Isn't that wonderful? That's creating your own reality.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
people
watching The
don't.
Price is Right. Christine Schiavone, come on down. There you go.
Yeah, but to be grateful for what you have is wonderful, and you're supposed to be, because you're sending that out.
That's right.
However, also then to pay it forward.
Pay it
For
forward,
what
is I
you
always say.
have, you need to pay it forward too.
We've talked about
you know?
this, about
Yeah.
being on the line at Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, and pay for the car
Yeah.
behind you. You know?
Right,
Things-
right.
look,
In other
That's
words-
important.
In other words, do kindnesses to other people.
Yes.
that
Yeah.
Well, most likely, it's best when they're unexpected.
Exactly.
I have these people that tell me, because, I see people that are out there, and I don't even like to use the word they're begging for money. They're in dire straits, or maybe they're pretending to be. That's not your call to make that decision.
No.
What is your call is that if they ask you for $1 or $2, whatever, I had a guy come up to me yesterday specifically for $4. I only had 2, so I gave it to him.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
do the same thing
But
all the time.
the whole
Yeah.
point of
I
it is
see
this:
people hanging
it
out.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're going to use it to get a ham and egg sandwich, or they're going to use it to
Get a bottle of
of Wild Irish Rose or something. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. That is their choice that they're making. It's your place as a child of God
Right.
to be benevolent to everyone.
You know how many
Yeah.
times I bought people breakfast?
I don't know.
Yeah, I see somebody, I can't let anything or anybody go hungry, and as a matter of fact,
expecting
one day
steak
I
later
had-
then.
One day I had an extra, sausage burrito from McDonald's,
Ooh.
and I had just bought them, and it was extra, and the guy standing there begging, I handed him the burrito, he ate it. Because when I got to the light, I happened to look in the mirror, he was eating it, he was grateful for it.
I always give them money. People say, "Oh, don't do that. They're going to go buy drugs or booze." Well, I don't care if
you
they're
know where they're
desperate
gonna go,
enough
right?
Yeah, but
to
the
be
point of it
begging.
is by you giving it to
give
them,
it to
by you
'em.
giving it to them, whether they're going to do those things,
You're getting
that means
brownie
they're
points
not
for
going to take
yourself.
money from a person and rob them and perhaps kill them.
Yeah.
So you're preventing crime by helping them.
True,
So,
You know?
right.
true. And you're getting brownie points for yourself that you did something
Listen, God
good.
blesses those who bless others.
That's
Right.
right.
All right?
that's true.
And that's what it is. When you are the blessing and you bless others, then you receive the blessings from God.
That's
on
right.
steroids.
That's right.
You know, God loves the happy giver.
Yes.
You know, God loves the giver that gives to someone not expecting something back from them.
No.
Because he gives out of the heart, out of the center, the chakra. He gives without any expectancy of anything in return. That's the true giver. If you over, you know, I didn't get anything. Well, were you supposed to get something? Were you looking for that from a person who is in dire straits? That
Yeah.
they're going to give you something?
No, good karma comes around. Good karma comes around. You
What
get
you
you
do
help
comes
someone
back to
else.
you.
Yes.
It may come from you. It may come from you. It doesn't necessarily be the same person you helped.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
You know? So, just do your best for
That's very
everybody. You know
true.
what I mean? And you know what? We were talking about smiling earlier. That is, smiling is, I've been told, is a living prayer. One time I was in a supermarket, and just like you were talking about how you smile, people, you catch their eye or whatever. Well, this elderly fella, he probably was lonely, and everything. And anyway, I smiled at him when he was at his cart, and he came up to me somewhere else in the super, and he says, "I want to thank you for that smile. It made my day."
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and people, it was nice that he complimented me for that, and I smile at just about
All the money you
everybody.
spent at the dentist was worth it.
That's an investment.
Oh, mate.
But yeah, smiling's so important.
my
But
goodness.
It is, when, a lot of times, like, sometimes you'll see I'll post stuff, and I might post this song, and I'll say to everybody, good morning, and it's 6:02, and they'll wake up, and I come up with a song that's a good song for the day, song from the past that touched me, and I know will touch others, all right? And there's a lot of comments on the songs. This, that, oh, man, I can't believe you played that. That reminds me of this, and I was here at that time. I get private
Brings you back,
message.
sure.
Yeah. And you're paying, like you said before, paying it forward. If you can make one person smile or make their drive time going into work, listening to a great song that they haven't heard in 30 years, okay?
Right. Yeah.
It gives them a little pep in their step. I like to pre-program my day. I get up, and after I shower, I just say, put the work in front of me that needs to be done, the people in front of me that I need to see, I need to work with, okay? And God does. I go to places sometimes, and I meet people, and they have a problem, and I immediately know I'm not there for what I was supposed to be there for. I was there for this.
Right.
And then,
Sometimes it works out that way. Sure. the
well,
Lord
what
works
I
in
do is I give
mysterious ways.
them metaphysical solutions to this toxic world that we exist in.
Yeah.
The negative emotions of the five senses, betray you. That keeps you in 3D. Your sense of smell, your sense of taste, hearing, sight, what's the other one? Feel, okay? Those senses, they keep you in bondage because you wind up hearing something philosophical like we're telling you, and then you make a judgment because you can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't hear it unless you're clairaudient, all right? And it's that thing that keeps you in bondage, keeps you reliant on bad news, hoping that it won't be so bad, or somebody will come up with an immediate solution, all right? And if they come up with the immediate solution that they want, that we're being driven to, it's going to be a flash and you're gone. Got something?
I do think it's key, though, when you're feeling down, it's key. Just ask God to balance you and center you and raise you up higher.
Raise your vibration.
Yeah, but raise your vibration, because the lower your vibration goes, the lower you feel like you're in hell. So you want to have your vibration risen up
Right.
above your head.
I also call on the angels.
Yes.
I say, angels, this situation needs help. Help it to work out, and they do.
Oh,
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
And Archangel Shamuel
Yeah.
is the one who sends the love, gives
Sends
the
the love.
love. Yeah, work with Archangel Shamuel.
You can work with
Hope
Shamuel.
open your
you can work
heart.
I work primarily with Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, Xenophon, and Metadrin. and I also work with my guardian archangel, Zachiel, and he's on the violet ray with Saint Germain, okay? And I call on the violet fire to purify what's going on. I just do. I call on the violet fire. I see the earth, and I see the violet flame coming, surrounding it, and purifying it and bringing its impurities out. It's helping Gaia to be who she's supposed to be, Mother Earth, and an earth that is not one of pollution. It's not pollution, man-made pollution. It's man that's the pollution,
Yeah.
Right.
okay? And the man's depravity towards anybody else.
Well, you know, I understand that the poles are very close to being balanced. I saw something online, and then I went inside and I got my own info, and tomorrow it might even be balanced, and that would be wonderful, because this is part of what causes the chaos, the imbalance of the poles of the earth that was done intentionally to keep earth in chaos. So hopefully that's going to occur, and responsible for a lot of the challenges we've been going on. And Mary has some information here with what's coming up, because it's supposed to be a somewhat tough month with relationships and so forth, right, Mary?
Yeah, well, the thing is, tomorrow actually is the Venus point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so Venus and the Sun are together. So
Oh,
that's
good.
why, that's why,
Does that mean trouble?
that's good. No, that's good.
That's a
Venus
good
is
thing
love.
there.
Good.
Goddess
Yeah,
of love.
Venus is love, and also it's what you desire, and it's just, it's good stuff. It's just
Well, that's
nice,
a good point
stuff.
of it.
Right. Well, a few things are coming up that I highlighted here that I wanted to talk about, because what I was mentioning to you guys before the show is that October, the rest of October, yeah, we'll deal with some issues, but then November's going to be really nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Good,
Well,
it's
what
around
we're
the
dealing
corner.
with is, those eclipses. But October 23rd, and let's see, what's today? Today is the
21st.
21st
Yeah.
already. So 2 days from
That would
now.
be
Yeah.
Sunday.
Okay, it's Sunday. There you go. Saturn is going to finally move direct. So we've had all these retrograde planets
Okay.
that has kind of like stopped things up. Well, it's going to move direct, and actually all summer it's been retrograde. So the feelings of restriction will be lifted.
Thank God, because Saturn's
See?
the teacher.
That's that
and
energy
it's always
too, that
hard
you
stuff,
were feeling.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hard
lessons.
Hard
Lessons.
lessons.
Hard lessons.
Hard
So
lessons.
Yes,
Saturn
karma.
going direct is going to help everybody.
Absolutely. And then a couple of days after that, so see, there's a lot of stuff going on. October 25th is the Scorpio solar eclipse, the new moon. So that's actually in a few days too. It's in a very powerful position because it's bringing up a lot of deep emotions.
Yes.
Now, these emotions, some of them, realize, and I was actually, because well, as you guys know, I do a lot of readings in
yeah.
person and telephone. And I was just talking to one of my clients about this morning, warning her that this was coming up so that she would realize that it's only going to last a few days and then it's going to shift.
Thank
Okay,
God.
and things are going to shift in a very positive way. But initially, what you could be dealing with are anger,
Resentment.
resentment, jealousy, that kind of
Envy.
thing. Yes.
What did you say?
Envy.
Yeah, envy and jealousy, bitterness.
Animosity.
We're
Yeah,
dealing with that right
especially,
now?
not yet. Not until the score. Well, we were, when the eclipse is coming up, it's already like we're in the essence a bit of it. Yeah, we are. But the peak of it is October 25th, the actual eclipse. But what's happening is, especially regarding the areas of your life of love and money, those two.
The two most important things.
Well,
Love
sorry.
and money. Make
Love
sure it's
and
not
money.
love of money, because then you make money your God. And
Oh, that's
then you're
right.
really screwed.
So if you start feeling these kind of feelings, like if you start feeling a lot of emotional upsetment, talk to somebody. Go and talk to your friend or talk to a counselor or something, because this is going to be pretty intense.
Don't let it stay
you know?
inside of you and fester.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a good word. Don't let it fester.
Right, absolutely. So anyway, and then right after that, 5 days later, okay, Mars is going to, on October 30th, Mars is going to turn retrograde, and that's going to reduce the aggression. No, that's good.
Oh,
This
that's-
is what I'm
yeah,
saying to
oh,
you.
okay, that's
Mars
good.
is the warrior, and Mars is the one that can create the aggression. When it turns retrograde, it's going in the opposite. The emotion is the opposite way, which is wonderful. Then, the happiest that I feel of the stars for the rest of October and November is the Taurus total lunar eclipse. Did you hear me, Adolphina?
Yes, I hear,
Okay.
darling. We're both Taurus. I know.
So anyway, but so the thing is that this is a very powerful, on November the 8th, that's a very powerful lunar eclipse. It's a total lunar eclipse. And what's going to end up happening is you'll start to notice that, you know how we were just talking about all the negative things that people have been dealing with?
Yeah.
And some people worry about finances and things like that, and security. They don't feel secure in the world right now. Well, at the time of this eclipse, it's going to bring a feeling of security, of
Wonderful.
safeness, of all of that. And out of the blue, something really wonderful could happen in your life. Okay. No,
Love
this is what I'm saying. It's really, really good. And also, because of some other aspects that I won't go into due to time, this is extremely, extremely strong. But you can expect a breakthrough. Like if there's something that you've been working on and putting a lot of effort into, whether it be in a relationship or something else, or maybe something in your job or whatever it is, if you've been dealing with this since the spring, especially of 2022, you're going to notice that all of a sudden you're going to have a breakthrough. And by the way, too, the Taurus eclipse is always the best time to play the lottery.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it has to do with money. So then on November 23rd, this is also extremely nice, because on November 23rd, the sun enters Sagittarius.
Gee, you think?
But the reason it's extremely nice is because at the exact same time, the ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, Jupiter,
Yeah.
lucky Jupiter, the luckiest planet of all,
yeah.
is also stationing direct. It has been retrograde. We've had, 6 to 7 planets retrograde.
Right.
And that has caused all these, as you were talking about before, Adolphina, all these,
All these little hiccups.
yeah, all of that bad energy. But anyway, and the Sagittarius new moon is also the same day, November 23rd. And what I had written about that actually hasn't been published out there yet in reference to this Sagittarius new moon, and I'll be going into it more on my show that I'm going to be doing. But I have to tell you what this is about reaching for the stars, literally reaching for the stars.
Oh, I'm getting a chill test
Isn't
on
that good? You got to understand what's happening here. At the same time that the sun enters the sign of Sagittarius, Jupiter also goes direct. So that's heavy duty energy.
Yeah.
And then with that, okay, we have a really nice conjunction of Venus, the planet of love. Mercury is the communication, okay? So, remember we were talking about before those areas of your life that I was saying that I was concerned about in October, love and money.
Love and money.
This turns it around all the other way.
Wonderful.
And especially if you're looking for love, if you would like to make your relationship better, especially at that Sagittarian new moon, that's when that happens. But seriously, if you've been wishing for something or wanting to change something in your life, the time of that Sagittarius new moon of November 23rd is really the very best time. And,
Focus your effort.
huh?
Focus your effort right there.
There you go.
And
Okay.
that's right before
And-
Thanksgiving, something to be thankful for.
Which
That's
is the-
right before a very famous person's birthday.
I wasn't gonna
wasn't
say
gonna say
anything.
that.
We know
I wonder who, Mr. Sagittarian. Okay,
Julius
but
LaRosa.
see,
I made that up. I don't know.
do you see what you were just saying about gratitude and Thanksgiving?
Yes.
I have highlighted here in the notes that this is actually what I had written. Oh my God, when was it? Yesterday, today? Yesterday, that the key to this and receiving everything wonderful with this new moon, the Sagittarius, is gratitude.
Right. Be grateful for what you have, okay? Don't be envious of anybody else who has more than you or what you seem to think.
Or
You know,
what you
God doesn't
think.
want you to have lack in your life. You could open the door and end that lack and release it, get rid of it. Just get rid of the thought of that you have lack in your life, you know? I
Because
mean,
if you think it is, right, Tommy?
yeah, because, listen, whatever you want for yourself as far as good things, wish it for your fellow mankind. Wish it for them, because that's how you receive. God loves the gracious giver, okay?
They
The
say
one who does it without expectancy.
if you want money, give someone else the opportunity to make money.
That's right.
You know, Mary, you were talking about October 25th, where there's the potential
Scorpio
for,
new moon.
Yeah, for negative anger, resentment, jealousy, envy,
Those kind of
bitterness.
things, those negative emotions.
Yeah, well, what I want to point
Those
out is
primal-
use your tools. Get some rescue
Right.
remedy, balance, ask God to balance your body so you stay emotionally centered and sane. And you can also transmute any negative energies into love, light, mercy, grace, forgiveness, and joy. Okay, these are tools. That's how I survived my late husband's crossing. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have even made it. You know, so I mean, these are tools that you can use. You can drink chamomile tea at night or during the day. It calms you down, settles your stomach, calms you
Remember
down.
when you go into sleep at night, all right, we operate in beta during the day. It's the world of the five senses. When you go into sleep, you're going to be entering into delta. And that delta is your God connection. All right, so the things that you want in this life, don't go to bed rehashing the negative things that happened the day before you, because you're only going to supercharge it with your subconscious mind for the next day, and the next week, and the next month, because you're going to keep on doing it. Like the gerbil on the wheel, as you said.
Yeah, don't take
Okay?
the worries to
Do
bed.
not
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Your last 5 minutes as you're getting groggy, set your intention for what it is that you want good. If you set an intention that will harm anyone or deprive anyone, okay, it will not be granted to you, and you'll just develop more negative karma. Do not do that. All right? Benefit others. Benefit yourself, benefit others. Never the negative thought. You bring that in, you're going to manifest it, and it's going to be with you. We have about 3 minutes left. Anybody want to?
Say anything special? Chris, you got something you want to talk about?
I have found all the things that we've been talking about very interesting, and I think I agree with everything. You have to, if you want good for yourself, you got to put good out there.
Out there, you got to put it for everybody else.
Yes, you have to care about your fellow human
right.
beings, even if it's just to give somebody your smile to make them feel better.
That's right.
That's
You
a
know.
living prayer.
Yeah.
It's a living
And-
prayer.
And I think that, you know, that the whole, if everybody took this attitude, the whole world would be a better place.
Listen,
When you
listen,
smile,
Yeah.
it releases chemicals
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
your brain.
That's right, endorphins.
Yeah.
you give people, if you don't have a couple of singles or something, whatever it is, give them a quiet blessing. Bless them. Bless their lives. Bless their lives to be better. All right? That blessing goes a long way on bettering their lives, no matter how chaotic or how messed up it might be, okay? You could be the one that actually sets the tone for them to improve and become a useful servant of God in this chaotic world. The answer to everything is love. And that's what we'll end on tonight.
That's right.
Is that's the answer to everything, is to love.
Amen.
All right? You may think it's simple, or maybe it's too simple and too easy, so it can't possibly be correct, but you would be wrong. And once you become a child of God, the person you were supposed to be, knowing that you and God, the Father, are one, once you know that, okay, then you can be who you're supposed to be
Before you
and
go
be a
to
blessing on this
sleep,
earth.
send love out to the entire earth.
World. That's right.
Just send love. I love everybody. Good night.
That's it.
And
That's
and-
very sweet.
yeah.
I
That
do
is.
that. I do that. I do that in the
Send
morning.
it out
Even
to the
divine Christ
entire
blessings
world.
of love to everybody,
Yeah.
and I even include the negative entities that come from other worlds. Surround them and bind them, because the love binds them.
That's true.
When you take a negative situation, surround it in love, it falls away.
That's
Cannot
right.
stand the light.
Yeah, they can't make
Well,
it.
you know, I mean, God created everything, right? So they are part of God too.
That's right.
And God is trying to rescue these beings. And so it's actually a very good thing to do because, and they'll run away from the love probably if you don't bind them because they don't like the light,
No, they don't. They don't.
you know, but because they're too far down there in the darkness.
And
First,
besides
first of all,
sending out
a lot
love,
of them also believe that there is judgment. We got to wrap it up. Okay.
Okay,
well,
Mary,
besides,
do
just
you
one
want
more
something?
thing, besides sending out love, though, make sure you pray.
That's
Just
it.
keep
All right. With that,
praying.
Yes.
with that note, we're going to end the show. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you to Christine Schiavone and Mary Silvernail. This is our spiritual family here that's with us all the time, and we send blessings out to all of you. Divine Christ blessings.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Good night.
Music
night.
maestro.